All right, joining me at this time is a rap artist out of New York. He's got a brand new LP called Hunger Pains coming soon. Joining me right now is Freddy D. He's with me right now. What's going on, Freddy?
Not too much. How you doing, man?
I'm doing real good. I want to thank you for being on the show this evening. I truly appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
All right, well, Freddie, I read your bio that you sent me via email. For those that's hearing you for the first time, talk about how you got into being an artist.
Well, we're gonna talk some decades ago, probably 20 years. 20 years ago, I was little. My mom she used to play a lot of Diana Ross, a lot of Bobby Blue Bland, just a lot of soulful records he had. And my brother was like a producer, so it was like all that music would be like a wave towards me. He'd be making hip hop, she'd be playing the soulful music upstairs. So it's like I'm in between a brick and a hard place. So, and the influences of the streets and not having much, all of that encountered me to just keep pushing through solid ground.
So once you started recording music and all, you started recording through cassette tapes. That's old
Yeah.
school as it gets, man. Like when we're not talking being and for people, we talking 1990s here. We talking cassette tapes here. You know, you press the record button and you be speaking in the boom box or whatever. And what was that like? Recording your music through cassette tapes. Obviously, the audio is not as clear as you may want, but what was it like recording your music through cassette tapes?
It was like it was a landmark because like you never really got this chance to see the full studio because it wasn't like it is today. This digital aspects of being able to do things at your own control. See, with a tape, you had the beat and your voice, so you couldn't make a good sound from that. It was like you should stay distinct. So me, it was very fun because I still got my old tape now. I put it in, I listen to it, and I hear how staticky and all the clouds and people still listening to it then. So that's why I tried to recapture that sound with my own, with that new single I just put out, Let Me Be. I tried. I went analog all the way through. I'm getting some funny feedback from it, but I'm actually getting good feedback because if people knew what I actually did to get that sound, they'd probably be a little bit more welcome with it.
And speaking of, the music video, Let Me Be, I checked it out. I actually played the audio, like on the show a little bit earlier. I've become a fan of the record. It's got a nice feel to it. It's got quite the message behind it as far as relationship is concerned. Talk about working on this record and what was it like doing the music video for this record?
Oh man, it's like I'm 32 at this moment. Like growing up, you never really understood like your parents' relationships until like you get into your own relationship. So you start to wonder why your parents didn't stay together, and it's usually nagging. Being in a position with a person, you giving them your all, you loving them, and you trying to stay focused on something that you want, and they just want all the attention for them. So in between that, you go through fights, you go through like discomfort and trying to stay because you found something with this person in their eyes that you wanted to be with. But at that time, you let them know I can't be with you because you're not allowing me to be myself. You're not allowing growth. You're not allowing understanding in my life. You're just worried about your feelings. So it's like with that song, I try to put out, allow a person to be themselves. Let them go, because at that moment they're not loving you. That doesn't mean they're not gonna love you in due time. I saw a bunch of people I know get killed in relationships over just speculating. So it was like, this new generation, they don't have nothing to latch on. We all was born with pacifiers helping us how to speak. So I felt like as an artist doing 20 years, I should be able to put my foot down and like start talking about real situations that evolve into like drama. I can't stand seeing the news and people died over relationships. Relationships are supposed to be about love.
I definitely concur with what you're saying. I feel like, being in a relationship at times, whether it's friendships, whether it's love, or whatever the case may be, it feels like people, yeah, that there's a speculation, as you pointed out, as far as, I guess it's just a matter of trust, and can this person be trusted? Can this person be rely on? Um, I guess it's, I guess if you don't trust the person that you care about, then it's gonna lead to some bad things, and hopefully people get the message behind the record. Is I consider it very encouraging. It may not feel like radio friendly music, whatever the case may be, but
Yeah.
it has substance, and and I keep preaching about this, especially the music artists, and I appreciate people like you willing to put this song out for people to hear, and just, and people get a good understanding. uh Maybe it'll help their relationships and make them feel better, not about the person they with, but themselves in particular.
Yes, sir.
So let's talk.
Yeah, hello?
Oh, you go ahead.
Now, I was just saying, like, yeah, and at the end of all of it, it's like a bond is something that even before you see a person, you become you become like, before I met, like, the person who helped me write that song, it was like I adored that person before I even wrote that record. And when you finally meet that person and you see how much, sometimes you could judge a book by its cover and go wrong, it could upset your insides more than it could upset your outsides. So that's why I say, have conversations sometimes. And, communication is the biggest aspect of trying to fix relationships. Either you're going to come to some type of conclusion or you're going to come to some type of, let's just leave it alone.
Well said. And for people that wants to check out the music video, they can check it out on your YouTube page, or you can at least go to youtube.com and just search Freddy D, and it will lead into the video itself. You are working on your new record. It's called Hunger Pains. You got 2 songs that will be included. One is called Good Guy, and another is called Hummingbird, which featured Jasmine. And it happens to, and I didn't realize this until I was just reading about it. I played the record and I liked it, but then when I read the email you sent me, that song turned out to be a Maya Angelou tribute, which is a dedication to the legendary poet who unfortunately passed away. I think it was early this year. May she rest in peace.
Yeah, sure.
What was it like working on that Hummingbird record in dedication to the legendary Maya Angelou?
Oh man, it brings tears and like tingles in my head right now. That's like probably one of the most influential females in our culture. And it's like, me being embodied by poetic theories and reading books and writing. She prolonged a lot of that, reading Mockingbird, all of this stuff was inspired by her because, like I said, I grew up in a place where, you could either be the action in the street or you could be the action in the future. I chose the future because in the streets people was dying easily and early. I chose the future because you got so much to learn to get to and through life. So I took that obstacle because I wanted to learn more about who I was and my culture. It was easy for me to go out there and be a thug and shoot guns. You don't get nobody wanting to really know nothing about you from that. So I wanted to actually be the person who evolved from that kind of lifestyle. I was out there in the streets. I did everything out there, but I just wanted to be that one crossover. So Maya Angelou, when I picked that book up, it was just like, instilled like this promise in me that, it's not about what you do, but how you do it. And when I was writing that song, Jasmine, she went to inside high school with me. She had won the Apollo for like 5 weeks in a row. She was on American Idol. She almost won with Kelly Clarkson that year, but she had caught laryngitis. So this was the opportunity for me to get her for that record. And then, you know, she's a very, she loves Maya Angelou just like me. So on our Facebook pages, I hit her up. I was like, you want to get on this record with me? She don't really mess with negative stuff. So she heard that positive vibe I gave her across that. She said, her son said, Mommy, are you really going to be on this record? And that showed me right there that the kids, they feeling what I'm doing, because her son, he's not even over 10. And for him to question her about being on this record, it made me feel like, wow, me being investigative about what Maya Angelou meant by most of the record songs she sung about a hummingbird and, you know, a caged hummingbird, only a caged hummingbird sing and stuff like that. So, you know, a hummingbird want to be free. And sometimes even when you're free, you feel like you're caged. So I found a way, you know, to let my music spark that message.
Wow. I mean, I guess that's the beauty of music, is that it affects people, it impacts people, and for a child to be like, wow, like, and for people that may not know who Maya Angelou is, number one, shame on you, and number two, Google her name and read the poems that she put out. Very impactful stuff, and it's unfortunate that she's no longer with us, and there just may never be another poet that was meaningful, that was impactful as Maya Angelou is. And I guess God just had plans for her to put poems out there in heaven. So that's where she is right now, and thoughts and prayers to the Angelou family, and hopefully there'll be another Maya Angelou. But that's gonna be some big shoes to fill for anyone that's
real big, gigantic.
Real
you got to me though. I'm just a pinky toe into that shoe that could get filled.
So, talk about this record in general, Hunger Pains. What made you decide to name this record Hunger Pains, and how close are you into finishing this record?
Well, I want to first thank you for, you know, first I'm going to thank God also having both of us here today to even talk about this. Then second of all, I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to even talk about this record. You know, it's a lot of people who want to be in a predicament. I am. So basically, you know, I'm a visionary. I've been following a dream for 20 years. That's the reason I didn't give up, because it's a vision. You know, if it was just something I wanted, I'd have been gave it up. A vision, humble beginnings. That was just the start of who I am, letting people know where I grew up at, how I came forth, how I got to this point. Humble Beginnings wasn't meant to be a record for everybody to think that it's the hottest record on earth. It was meant to be a record to let you know that it's still somebody who's in this world that still understands the culture still exists. Understand it's not about material things. Understand it's not about just taking and giving. Sometimes it's about really allowing yourself to evolve. Hunger Pains came from humble beginnings. Reason being, a lot of people listening to this humble beginnings, and they not understanding that I'm being humble on this record. I've been doing music 20 years. You think I'm going to put a record out for my first record like this unless God foresees me to put out a record that states humble beginnings. So I took the humble beginnings part and I ran with it. And the birth out of humble beginnings is your humble. Once you get your humbleness out of the way, you show people how hungry you are. So this record, Hunger Pains, is a dynasty of how hungry I was made from my humble beginnings. So if it wasn't my humble beginnings, I wouldn't have been able to be thirsty enough and hungry enough to evolve to this person that could actually use my negativity as a stepping stone now, being hungry, nights not having nothing to eat, nights lights getting cut off, going to work not having enough after you pay your rent to eat the next day, you still got to borrow or scuffle. You know, it doesn't matter what you go through. It matters what you come out of that with, and I stayed content through it all. So that's why Hunger Pains bring this whole new advantage for me, like Good Guy. Good Guy is a record about, you know, a person who actually do everything right in his life. Every day he do everything good. But then you got these people who sit and they think life is just a mystery, and they take life for granted every day, and they run up against the good guy. The good guy, sometimes he might not give you a second chance to talk about your life as the guy at the corner who chuckles every day. The good guy could have had enough that last day, and he could just clear up everything. So don't never make a good guy mad. Never.
In other words, do not take the kindness for weakness
Don't
because,
never take his kindness for
and
weakness.
it's just that you never know what's gonna happen. I don't know. It's just something that people need to keep in mind, and that you know there's a lot of good people in this world, and unfortunately, they look that differently. They people turn the other way from them because maybe people are into the method to the madness, or just the insane people. And I feel like good people need to be acknowledged for what they're doing, for what difference they make in this world. And I appreciate a person like yourself understanding what it took to be where you are today, and that you're not taking anything for granted, that you dedicated to the craft that you are in, and that you doing the best, making the best of it, making the most of it. And I respect the heck out of you, not just as a recording artist, but as a human being. And what I say to you, Freddie, is that keep on striving, man. I have a lot of faith in you, and hopefully one day, uh, you get the recognition that you truly deserve, not just from fans, but people all over the world, because we need a Freddie D that just out there to pursue and to achieve his dream. And whatever the case may be, man, you keep at it, man. Keep on striving.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
So in addition to Hunger Pains, do you have anything else in the works, like maybe upcoming collaborations, upcoming performances, like anything else you have coming up with the year winding down?
Yeah, I like to keep a little secret sometimes. It's just funny because sometimes you wanna tell everything, but you don't want to be the loose lip that sink the ship. But you can look for a lot of things coming in the like I said, this is all God, and like I said, God got me still right now. And I said, you wanna know what? As soon as God ready for me to move, that's when everything really gonna come to light. Right now, I can tell you a lot of things. Like, yeah, I got records on this way. I got another collaboration with my partner. We got a record called God Soldiers GS. We came from the bottom. Like when the devil was picked his children, God picked us. So like I said, he did what he did for the last 20 years. And like I said, God he holds the favorites for the last. You want to know why? Because he want to let you know that with any chaos, before any good thing, got to be chaos. And I try to let people know this all the time when I talk to them. If you feel like you're in a little negligence, you're going through a little problem, understand it's about to get great. It's about to get real great. Sometimes it's about to get so great that it's going to get even better before you even taste that great. So other than that, I'm just actually cleaning my soul to just be a spirit that, it hasn't been a lot of role models in this life, in this new light as an adult. As a kid, we had Michael Jordan. We had a lot of people to look up to, Oprah. We had a lot of people to look up to. And like this new age, it's like everybody just like, whatever, money, 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 I need money, twerk, 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 money, 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 bling, 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 twerk, twerk, twerk. And kids is growing up, and you trying to get your kid to sleep, and they trying to twerk themselves to sleep. So it's like, okay, somebody got to be adult in this lifetime since nobody else wants to. I stay broke if I have to get my message across. So if I have to stay belligerent just to get a point across, I'm willing to do it. But if they need me to get money to show them that, okay, good could have money too and still advantage, I'm willing to do that too. But other than that, only thing I have coming up is whatever God allow me.
Well said, man. Well said. And let me ask you this from a fan's perspective. You know, people have their opinions, their thoughts towards hip hop and what's going on right now with the radio play, and the records that are out. From a fan standpoint, what do you feel about hip hop as it is right now, and what do you want to see more of, as far as, I guess, music wise, artist wise? Like, how do you feel about hip hop right now, and what do you want to see more from hip hop moving forward?
Well, hip hop right now is like, it's like the internet. It's like Google. It's searching for a sound right now. I feel like hip hop, had a sound at one point before the bling bling came. It had its own like identity. I want to see hip hop go back to originality. I want to see hip hop grow. I want to see hip hop evolve. I'm tired of everybody depicting hip hop as this gangster floor, as this gang. Even the gangsters out there, they don't want to even promote that no more because they know how much anguish and pain is brought through speaking of tongues like that. I'm a very bound person with laws of attraction. What you speak, you attract in your life. So I say I wish people today take further notice in their community, their kids, the world, the earth. We saw how bad it was. We saw how it's like to get pissed on, to get shitted on. If I excuse my French or my language, I just want to see people do the best thing. Martin Luther King died for us to walk hand in hand together. And there's so many people who died. Jesus himself died for us to have a life for one another. So I just look for everybody to look inside themselves in this near future and figure out, do you still want to live or do you want to die? Do you want to die living or you want to live trying to die? Take a chance. That's what I want to see hip-hop do, is just become what it was going to become in the beginning, a new outlet for the youth to just have a balance. Everything needs a personality. And I know when I listen to radio, I listen to the personality. I don't listen to the radio station. So if I'm going to listen to a musician, I'm going to listen to a good personality, a person who do good without cameras on. That's just what I want to see. I want to see people stop acting for the camera.
I definitely agree in that regard. It just seems like people be bragging about it. I mean, I get it that hip hop was about, its form of expression. It's about bragging how much you have. How about you brag about what you could do for
somebody else,
for your community, for those that are poor, for those that are less fortunate. Like I want to. That's what I want to see. I want to see hip hop artists brag about what can they do for their communities, because they have people they look up to as young, and when they put themselves in the predicament that they are in, I mean it should be no any second guessing that they should do what the pioneers did before them, because the pioneers before them, they didn't have the opportunities that these artists have right now. And there's social media, there's bigger platforms than it was 25 years ago. So I guess what I want for hip hop right now is to it's a form of unity, not just towards themselves and collaborating and making money or whatever, but communities and businesses, endorsements, and see what they could do to help impact people's lives. Because whether they realize or not, there are fans, young and old, looking up to them, and they want to see them do more than just putting out hit records and winning awards. That's
exactly.
So,
like I said, I'm sorry for cutting you up, but it's like this. You could go to your strip clubs, but still tweet that you at the YMCA in the daytime. Ain't nothing wrong going to your strip club late on at night, but make sure you tweet that you was at the YMCA earlier that day. Make sure you should have balance in what you do. That's all it is. That's what we missing as a culture. We missing balance. Everybody just want to be hell raisers. You forgot that, like I said, I don't care. I would go against 100 men with God's word than to sit around and be wicked. That's just me.
Absolutely, man. And for more info on Freddy D, he's got all the social media. He's on Twitter at Freddy D Music, Instagram at Freddy D Music, Facebook.com/Freddy D Music, ReverbNation.com/Freddy D Music, SoundCloud.com/Freddy D Music. He's got the YouTube, and you can also check out the Let Me Be video on viralvideos365.com.
Yeah, we viral right now.
And be on the lookout for the upcoming LP entitled Hunger Pains coming soon. And be on the lookout for the singles Good Guy and Hummingbird. So for more info, just check out all the links that I've already mentioned. And Freddie, it was great chatting with you. I've done a lot of interviews for 7+ years, and I must say this one right here on October 18th, 2014, it's definitely out there. It's one of the best I've ever done, and I want to thank you for your wisdom and for your message that you are spreading. And I wish you nothing more but success moving forward, and I'll definitely will be keeping an eye on Hunger Pains when it is available for the public. Thank you for your time, Freddie, and you got any final words to the fans or anyone out there?
I want to thank you, Kenny. Other than that, I just want to thank the world, and I just want to say peace and love. You know, take one chance at a time, take one day at a time. Never think you could just do everything overnight. Everything takes time. That's all I want to say, man. Shout out to Hempstead. We still coming.
All right, man. Take care. You have a great night. Have a great weekend.
Have a better one. Enjoy yourself. Long Island.
All right. That was Freddy D joining me again. Be on the lookout for Hunger Pains coming